other interesting cultural news, you have Lizzo sued on grounds of fat shaming and sex abuse. Perhaps the best case of the pot calling the kettle black, or the cow calling the cow big. Some of that perspective. But and it's one of those things where I would always argue it's fair game to argue her weight because it's her personality. She proudly goes out and says how great it is to be big. And she's all about quote unquote body positivity, which in terms of work ethic and trying to improve yourself, I would always say that's perhaps the definition of lazy. You should always want to improve yourself both physically, mentally, whether you're hitting the gym, reading extra books. But then you have Lizzo, who's just proudly morbidly obese. I suppose she can probably read. I've never seen her with a book, perhaps on the same level of LeBron James, who always has a book but can't tell you what it's about. Now, her latest stunt is her actually twerking, or it looks like she has having a seizure while wearing barely any clothes and destroying, many would say, destroying a glass flute. It used to be James Madison's, one of the founding fathers, which was, again, it was given to him as a gift. And she actually played it, which in terms of historical provenance, you're not supposed to play something that was a display piece. But I digress. That was a great way to piss off historians, as well as look disgusting as usual. Now, it looks like the suit is being brought by ex-dancers Ariana David, Crystal Williams, and Noel Rodriguez. Now, cover your ears in terms of if you have children listening, because this certainly is not child appropriate. Now, it looks like they claimed that they were forced to perform sexual acts with a banana at a strip club, and Lizzo was also shaming them for gaining weight. Perhaps because she's the only one who wants to be ginormous? Only she could be top. What's the nice way of saying? She could barely fit in a Mini Cooper boat. She wants to be the biggest, quite literally. Not just the center of attention, but she wants to have her own gravitational pull, which she might be there soon. Now, this is actually thanks to a report from the Daily Mail, and I still understand why she's famous, besides the fact that mainstream media wants to glorify being morbidly obese. Her music is, I'd say, ear-wrenching at best. I've suffered in terms of I've heard one or two of her lyrics, and yeah, needless to say, it was a uncomfortable experience. Now, thankfully, I didn't have to see a music video because, good God, my eyes can only melt so much. It's similar to the end scene on Indiana Jones in the Temple of, what is it? In the Lost Ark, where if you open the Ark, you look inside, your eyes melt. I can only assume that's what happens when you watch more than maybe 2 music videos starring Lizzo. Again, I wouldn't risk it. It might be true. It's not worth the risk, trust me. Now, in terms of the details, and dear God, these pictures. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. In this case, perhaps it's worth 1,000 Big Macs. But it looks like Ron Zambrero is the woman's lawyer who said in the suit that they were stunned about Lizzo and her management and the way they treated the performers. And they said, while she weight shames her dancers and demeans them in ways that are not illegal but absolutely demoralizing. Now, it looks like Lizzo is not the only named defendant in the case, which was filed in Los Angeles Superior Court last Tuesday. Her dance captain, Shirlene Quigley, is also facing a myriad of allegations. Now, Quigley, according to the lawsuit, shared lewd sexual fantasies and publicly discussed the virginity of one of the plaintiffs while berating those who had premarital sex. Which, again, when you're talking to your employees, there's certain things that are obviously off limits and obviously personal. Although, perhaps for them, not obviously, perhaps I should clarify. For those who have more than a rudimentary intellect level, they would know, oh yeah, you don't talk about certain things. They're private. And obviously they make people feel uncomfortable. Now, they continue to say that the complaints for all the damages include a hostile work environment, sexual harassment, religious harassment, racial harassment, disability discrimination, and a failure to prevent or remedy the harassment. Now, Lizzo is specifically accused of disability discrimination, creating a hostile work environment, sexual harassment, and failing to stop said issues. Now, unfortunately, this article has pictures and, oh, good God. Oh. Americans used to be so proud. Americans used to really be proud and physically fit and mentally fit. And, dear God, how far we've fallen. Now, it looks like, in terms of the nitty-gritty details, Lizzo actually, one of the dancers actually alleged that the hostile work environment she wouldn't let them go to the bathroom, and after working out or dancing for 12 hours, they relieved themselves in their clothes because they were so scared to actually ask for a bathroom break, apparently. Now, they go on to say that Lizzo actually took them to a strip club, and again, not a prudent business decision at all, because obviously it is just inappropriate to say the least. And some of them, they went to I believe it's a red light, another country which has lax laws around strip club activities, and she was instructing. So he actually had Lizzo allegedly turning her attention to Miss Davis, and actually touched her breast, and pressuring her employee to touch the breast of one of the, they say artist in this article, but it's a stripper, which I guess is a form of employment, and I don't know about that. But it looks like Davis actually refused multiple times, while the pop star allegedly chanting louder and louder, which that could only be, imagine having Godzilla next to you yelling in your ear louder and louder. That's got to be pretty intimidating because she might eat you. Now, it looks like Davis refused multiple times and they louder and louder, but she eventually did acquiesce and touch the performer. Now, the plaintiffs were aghast on how little Lizzo regard showed for the bodily autonomy of her employees and those around her, especially in the presence of many people who employed. Now, they go on to say, in another instance, the plaintiffs claimed that Lizzo invited the dancers to a club in Paris, but failed to mention that it was a nude cabaret bar. This shocked the dancers, who Lizzo said robbed them of the choice not to participate. Now, this actually happened twice, so fool me once, shame on you, fool me once, shame on me. Although, again, from the employee perspective, they were probably in fear of losing their job, which is why they felt they had to go a second time. And then you also had them interacting with the performers, putting bananas into their junk, and then playing with bananas as they left the junk. It is an entirely morally vacuous situation, and even more disgusting at the hypocrisy that is Lizzo. And yet people still worship her for reasons. Now, will this person actually have any fallout in terms of their fan base? That's what I want to know, because every mainstream media company is saying how great she is for years because of body positivity, which again, is ridiculous. Everyone should always be striving to be better in every way conceivable. But will this actually chip away at the big, ginormous, will this chip away at her? There's a lot of material to chip away at. Will it be enough to actually chip away her fan base? Or will they continue to just support her? It'll be interesting to see, but I always say time shall tell. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of August, so I especially appreciate you taking time to click that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to like as well as comment. Your feedback is greatly appreciated as we make the show better and better every day. I'm really trying to get better at slowing down my pace of speech, so thanks to the comments, I know that it is something I need to focus on. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.